Yeah, it's the internet wants to actually, like, be good. How's the day? It goes fine. Relatively slow. Internet. Grind's on. It's always on. Let's just go right into it for now. Like Maiden Wars. Oh, well, I do suck, so I guess I should go play some Maiden Wars. Yeah, this is the run. This one, I feel it. Namikos, thank you for the 15 months. How did it get to be like this? It's bad apple? What do you mean? I know, like, level, like... Are you talking about, like, in memes? Or are you talking about, like here? What do you... That's popular. Alan, you said it's. It should be it, apostrophe S, instead of it, because that would be it is popular, which is what the actual wording is, but you did it. And, the way you did it is not grammatically correct. So I'm gonna have to call you out on that one, Alan. You're gonna have to get your apostrophes in check. Bad Apple's really good, don't get me wrong. Like, it's a really good stage theme. It's not the best. The thing is about Bad Apple 2, it's a very good stage theme. It's a really damn good stage theme. It's not even the best stage theme from its game. The apostrophes I've noticed. Kids these days, they've just forsaken grammar. It's unbelievable. Yeah, there's a lot of Bad Apple mixes too. I love Akatsuki Records Loop as well, but like they're like it's just It's just a good tune. Although I don't know what you mean by a slight reference. I will say a bad apple might get overblown a little bit. I'll say that for sure. Of course, she wins the popularity poll. What are the odds of, like, me caring? More importantly, why the hell are you caring about this? Should you be happy it's not USD? Of course, she's not from USD. Alfonso, no, I don't say slurs like he does. What's your problem? I think one of the things about Bad Apple, which is kind of lost a little bit nowadays, is just the fact that, like, especially for what it was when it first came out, it really was something else. Especially because it's, like, a really cool-looking animation, and specifically, it's, like, it's not, like, you know, it's effectively, you know, indie, per se. It's just, it's fan-made animation. That's a pretty damn cool animation, especially for, you know, it being almost 20 years old at this point for the fan song. You know, the actual song is what, like 22 years old, some shit like that. 23. When did Lotus Land come out? 97, 98, something. Oh my goodness! Why would you do that to me? Stop being popular. I'm sorry. We'll make sure that everything the popularity poll gets the exact same amount of votes, evenly distributed amongst all of it, so that there's no favoritism in the slightest. Yeah, I mean, it's not quite 20 years, because it was like, I think it's like 07 that Bad Apple came, so about 18, right? And Lotus Land came out in 90-something, right? I want to say like 97, but I could be pulling that out of my ass completely. What am I doing? Everyone's going good. I like it. Who's your wife? Talking to me, or are you talking to Game Glitcher? Because if you ask Game Glitcher, he'll just say that he hates every Touhou character. And then he'll deny it and be like, I don't hate every Touhou character. But then you ask him his opinion, he'll say he hates every Touhou character. If you ask me, the top of my list usually varies a little bit, but, my 1 and 2 tend to be Remy and, Ron Shima. Drained by Remy. I don't know if I've ever commented too much on that. Alan Hold, that was quick. That was a whole, like, what, 2 days? Display's wife is Rumia. No one. Okay, hold. Your head should be at. I should have your head at the stake then. Because you're just like Game Glitch. You come in here, and you start asking people's opinions, and then you ask your own. Like, oh, I don't have any strong opinions on this matter. It's like, holy shit, we need to blow people up. We need to get the testicular torsion chamber going up again. Like, come on. Holy moly. You can't play the opinion game and then come out and say, oh, you don't have an opinion. That's just gonna get your testicles portioned. What room you dead? Yeah. We'll just get you back to your psych ward. I'm not out here clamoring for Touhou characters to get murdered. Although watching Iku get killed was something else, I tell you. Woo-wee. Who is Unk? Confirmation that this person is 14 years old. Koichi's heart-throwing adventure. The bait used to be believable. I've been explained of like the thing about Unk because I have a nephew who hangs out with some people I know and like to use that term. Whoop! Uncle, do people use the word Unk for like a bunch of things? Okay, it's like any other modern term where it loses meaning. Okay, they just fucking use the word Unk because it's the quirky modern term. Okay. You know, Hawk Tua and Skibidi Riz, thing of the past, and now you move on to the next thing. Drop frames. I love my internet right now. It's so great. So remember, Merry Christmas? That's next month. This is Thanksgiving. Come on. Tell me you're not American without telling me you're not an American. SMH. Where you're super, yeah. Like, you understand, Alan, that 90% of modern terms, when people say something, like gooning, okay? To goon and gooning has a term for about 5 minutes, and then the moment it becomes mainstream, it loses the term immediately because people attach it to everything imaginable. Yeah, see, they're just on something else now. Something else that has no meaning, but like we're gonna protect, like 6-7, okay? Just 2 minutes every day. No. If you want to do it, here's what you should do, Game Glitcher. You should do that. You should watch Koichi's Heartthrobbing Adventure and tell me how it is. How about that? Heck, a human. Creamer? Right now, yeah, I'm totally celebrating the fact that I haven't never heard this word before in my life until you and Damiko started saying it like 2 minutes ago. Oh, fuck my hands. Don't actually. I forgot, like, I thought there was still another summon left. Shows how much I'm paying attention. Alan, this is the thing. You just gotta ignore it, like modern lingo, almost. Actually, the better way that I've learned to deal with modern lingo is to overplay it to the point where the people who use it just like hate you for it and then begin to hate the term. Okay, take whatever term they're using and then just start over applying it to the point where it's not funny to them anymore. Okay? This is how you beat the skibbity part. This is how that got beat out. This is how everything gets beat out. You just do it so much that it's like it's how you kill. It's how the 6-7 meme dies. Okay? You just start forcing it everywhere, especially as a boomer, and then people just learn to be like, oh, that's fucking not funny anymore. And then they go find their next thing where they just say it, and it's like, oh, guys, I'm in the inn. I know the funny thing. I'm in the know, right, guy? Yeah, like this. And then eventually someone's parent will do it and be like, well, this fucking sucks. Now it's not funny anymore. And then they go to the next thing. You're like, yo, this is the funny thing, right, guys? Yeah, for crying out loud, like 4 years ago, every fucking meme started with just someone going, "Eee." And it was really funny. Fuck me. Well, yeah, you just don't find, like, the 13-year-olds there, right? Funny as shit. Yeah, that's the whole purpose. Is you just kill them off as much as possible. Alan, how does it feel to be a boomer? Now we got Spanish. Do I need to bring up my my conversation? I'm not gonna ban a single message in a different language, but I will say don't post in a foreign language because I do not speak other languages and I cannot moderate other languages. So please keep it in English. And if people spam it too much, then I will cut people out. The internet is so happy today. And you have Senpai. Yeah, Senpai is another good example of, you know what. Dude, the internet's so happy. Every stream, right? If it's something like Senpai, where like it's a joke word, and like people are gonna know that, fine, right? Should you not say? I just said I just prefer people not to, you know, talk not to message in other languages because I can't moderate other languages. And the thing is, I'm really not concerned with like most people coming in here and like saying things in different languages that turns out to be, you know, a little questionable. It's just I don't want to have a precedent of people talking in a language in my chat that I don't speak. You moderate anything? I have timed out, like, outside of bots, I've timed out, like, 5 messages in my time. Excuse you. I dabble too much? Just kind of ass, to be honest. That's because my internet is so fucking happy this week. I don't know why. It's been so good for a while, and, like, this week is just, like, wants to, be sketchy, I guess. Yeah. If nobody understands, yeah. But that's the thing. It's like most people aren't going to talk like that. And even if someone did as like a joke, it's like usually not a problem. But I don't want to like instill, you know, any type of precedent of talking in other languages because A, you know, there are people who can take advantage of this. I just don't want. I also don't want conversations to spring up in languages I don't understand. I'd just rather keep it English. Personally. The first topic. The problem is, it's like you gotta. What do you mean? First of all, cursed topics. Eggs are not cursed topics. Okay, I literally ate, or I had an egg with what I ate, you know, mix it in there. We'll get there, okay? No. I mean, because that's the thing. It's like, I understand a little bit of French and a little bit of Spanish, okay? I took French for a year, I know, well, like, it was a semester, not a year. I know, you know, you can look at me for that one. You don't have to force the issue. There's already a conversation at hand going on. You can pivot around as things go up. Okay, I know I'm kind of scatterbrained at times. You can jump around from topic to topic. You don't have to force the jumps. See, despite taking a semester in French, really the only thing I'm like, you know, I particularly care for in French is to go sacre bleu. You know, the internet is. I almost completely. I mean, I did completely panic. I somehow did not touch one of those lasers by accident. Worldwide, is that true? I thought, like, Mandarin or whatever was technically, like, the... I think there's a number of reasons behind it, but, like, you know, English is just... Like, it's not like it's necessarily the best language, although, like, ranking languages is kind of a subjective thing at times. It just happens to, you know... It's just how things have kind of gone, right? A restricted user? Hold up. Hold up. I got a likely ban evader. Um, domestic pseudonym Mad Ovid. Interesting name. Created yesterday. Interesting. Yeah, on my end, it pops up as likely ban evader restricted. Accounts that get flagged as potential bots quickly will get blocked in chat. So they have restricted chat access where they can message in chat, but only mods can see them. And if account gets enough stuff where the account just gets banned completely. Or I guess it could kind of just get removed. No, I mean, you don't have to. It just exists there. It's going to go off every half hour, so you say no. Get ready to say no again in another half hour. And ChatGPT? I don't think it is. I think it's a lot simpler of a thought. What is DW? Oh, is that don't worry? Fuck, I'm saying to learn acronyms. I hate it so much. So, I mean, the conversation happens, every once in a while. Otherwise, it's small mentions here or there, but, I also stream enough to where, most conversations I have, I'll just have on stream. I mostly just have Discord for memes and, anything else that maybe needs to come through. Or, hey, I'm not streaming on a certain day because of X reason or something. Hey, stream's gonna be early or late. Hey, yada yada, Other reasons like that. Dude. And as a medium for, if... Whenever Labby 3 drops in 2 years from now, if/when Max 3 Peso actually, is doing well. So someone can let me know right away, so it doesn't have to be just on stream. Fucking bitches. Be 3 tomorrow, trust, I'll believe. Hello, Kageyama. Kageyama, I need you to set, a permanent color. I swear, every fucking day you show up in here, I think you're someone else because the color... Because, today you show up in my chat, you're just Game Glitcher's color. I just thought you were him for a second. I'm like, wait a second. You're blue? You're sure not blue on my end. Unless your balls are, but then I couldn't see those anyway, so... What's that have to do with anything? No, I'm not. I'm saying maybe that's what's blue, but then I couldn't see it. Oh man, yeah, I know. That's what I'm complaining about. I need him to select the color. I need Kageyama to select the color, because otherwise it just keeps it keeps popping up. I keep thinking it's someone else based on color. Like Remy? What did anything I said previously have anything to do with this? The movie is called Ratatouille. Rats have huge balls. That true? I'm not much of a rat anatomist. Spooter's drunk. How many times is Spooter not drinking? Ridiculous for their size. I'll take your word for it. I mean, those are the biggest balls. That's also true. And then not do it anyway. That's the proper attitude, Kagi. I like to see your heart's in the right place. Real depiction of Tanukis. Jarvis, pull up real depictions of Tanukis. Jarvis. $399? No, $398.9. It's a little sloppily done. Use it broke again. It tends to break a fair bit. I have this issue sometimes with the additional emote like sources like Better TV and 7TV, where what happens is like this isn't all the time, but sometimes I'll add an emote and then it just won't add on my end until I literally go into my settings, turn off like the additional like the add-on, and then turn it back on. It's so stupid. No one has bigger balls than the three-legged crow. The intrigue. I mean, you raise a good point. Listen, intrigue of the unknown. Listen, we need to have the ball competition. Everyone look at their balls, we compare size. Whoever has the biggest is the winner. What does the winner get? I don't know. High five. The winner gets I'll buy the winner a free copy of CBT, Cognitive Behavioral Therapy with Yuka. How about that? Deserve truck? What do you mean, do we deserve truck? Fuck my ass. quite a journey. I think there's a pretty clear distinction if you want my, you know, honest answer, but... Good point. Game Glitch is going to have to retract his previous statements. Game Glitch, you're going to have to repent, so... You're at nothing, I wouldn't expect anything else from you. Clothing, or is that a girl? I mean, I feel like it, like, most of the time, not all the time. I feel like most of the time it's not that hard, you know, outside of anime, to be fair, because anime tends to, raise a bit more questions. It's not that hard to tell at times. Your bi ass? Oh, so your ass is bi, but what about your arms? Or, like, the legs? I'm not saying that it's not true. I'm saying that, like, that can exist where it's, like, sometimes people throw you off. Like, so pretty pan. See, that was like the question. It's like you said ass, but like I'm trying to, like, you know, understand the context of everything. Because they're just pretty. Oh my gosh, me slay for real. I'm not saying that it's not that you're never going to have that issue. What I'm going to say is that generally, I feel like I rarely have that where I'm like. Okay, now you're just gonna make it weird, Game Glitcher. Come on. He's in toes. There we go. See. Today isn't that like one of those common things that people like, you know, make jokes about? If they say if you have ticklish knees, you're gay or something, and they try to tickle your knees and get you caught for that, right? Yes, the source spoot are hard at work. You have small penis. I thought that was the other way around. I thought that I thought it was always supposed to be if you have big socks, it's supposed to be big cock. Like you have massive chickens. Was it? I'm pretty sure that's what that is. I could be mistaken, but I feel like that is like a very common old one from the old days. Oh, from what, fucking 10 years ago? Why does, like, half of every viewer of mine, like, try to make it come across that they're, like, freaking 90 years old? Back in the day, 8 years ago. Work right. Okay, now you're just gonna sound like 11. Then Uwu spotted on the premises. You're in dangerous ice right now. Hold up. Nate used to be believable, Game Glitcher. Come on. You gotta try harder than that. I need that, like, image with two people, like shaking hands. And with the caption in the middle just being hard at work. And then on the left, it's, like, me. And on the right, it's porn star. Who has one? Yeah, I have a Junko Fumo. One of the 3 Fumos I have. What do you mean you felt bad about that? Yeah, Kina does have a Fumo. Stage 3. We're still new Touhou. Yeah, she's new. She's like, what, 2014, 2013? Hopeless Masquerade? When Hopeless Masquerade come out? 2012? Still new Touhous. Like, this is not beating... No one in chat is beating the allegations of you're all freaking 80 years old. Or trying to come off as you're 80 years old. Except maybe Display. He comes off as he's like 10. First release, she was Lillian Playable? Really? Playing the game? I'm gonna keep playing the game whether you tell me to or not. Faith is 18 years old, not in Faith is legal, is what you're telling me? Hold up. That kind of cussy got me acting strangely. Interesting. With I Attorney? That was yesterday. We'll boot up more of that on Friday. I can't believe... Speaking of I Attorney, I can't believe that Iku is dead. Yeah, I could choke Scorpions because fairies don't eat agony. Yeah, here you go. Love that emote. That actual emote's so good. Hi, Kappa Papa. Yeah, that was just too much wiggling. attack damage or Hydro Camo, that'd be really cool. Holy shit, that was the cleanest fucking opening I've ever seen on Illusionary Camo. Holy shit. Pretty big buff to Niels. Actually, yeah. Could you not go straight up? Thank you. Holy moly, I do. Hydro Camo because she has camo? Yeah, imagine that. That'd be pretty crazy, huh? I don't think homing needs a nerf. Stage 4, the stage of hopes and dreams. Big deal. I mean, needs a nerf. Well, I mean, we know homing is broken, right? 3% damage boost on certain spell cards at the bottom. And an easier source. And, whatever the spell I just did was. Cephalic Plate. Literally broke it. Internet, you fucking filthy rat. It keeps like dying for like 5 seconds and then it comes back. Or it's broken hands up actually. This is what we call the Zoom coding moment. Thank you. Get wall of Momiji? Yeah, how was that Momiji wall, huh? That was not the easiest Momiji, too. Although it wasn't, like, that terrible. Damn. Momiji and her certified snail trails. Ah, you bastard! Momiji snail trail the Dormy's walls. Dormy's wall nuns. I mean, like, people aren't gonna argue. People, like, realistically, people won't say that's true, but it's true. There is definitely some truth to it, right? Wow. That's a certified moment. Ooh, Storm Day means stormy, I see. I'll at least go through. I'll at least hit the Fearless Wind God. You know what is happening? I mean, she's just probably the hardest boss in the run. Debatably, but... Fuck, that was disgusting. I'm telling you, dude, Fearless Wind God actually free, though? I'm telling you, Al, one of these days, we gotta go in the TRS Discord and just start a fake drama arguing about whether or not Fearless Wind God's actually free. Chain death after? Yeah, like in Not 1, where you, where after you've already died once, you just kind of start reading chat too much. It's the run, yeah, 3 deaths. This might be the run. Which way? Just think how funny it would be, though. Spotsy's not the hardest fight. Well, again, it's debatable. Like, I will say this, okay? I will say this in the context of this game. I think that Stage 4 is the hardest stage in the run. Okay. I think Stage 4 is the hardest stage. I do believe that Konako is harder than I am. In the context of exactly the run, specifically. I will say, I fully believe that in the middle of a run, Konako is harder than I am. I will say that with confidence. Okay, now I also say that's also arguable. Different people will have slightly different opinions on a lot of things. Too aggressive on my movement. Still able to do fine. And one way I also argue with certain arguments is let's take bumper crop. Everyone's favorite bumper crop, okay? Bumper crop is not an attack that you're worried about on the middle of a run, but it's partially defined by the context of where it is, right? Like, bumper crop is a really annoying attack for an LNN because of how fucking inconsistent it is. But you don't really think about how difficult the attack is because of where it is. There's no pressure. What the fuck are you doing to me, Sanai? Holy shit, she's trying to diddle and fiddle me. Either. Michael Cat is also harder. I am also hard, but Bro, it's a joke! I'm not actually, okay? Routing? Is that crazy? Wow, that was a complete mistap. I'll blame the keyboard for that one. UM was fun. I like UM, but there are not a lot of people that will agree with you on that one. I feel. After we died to everything 5 billion times. I fucking hate this attack with a passion, by the way. This deck is lucky that, like, Hydro Camo exists. His skill issue. That's what I say about the dancers, and yet people still look at me like I'm crazy for that. Well, I think one thing that we can all agree with is that Clown Piece on normal is definitely the hardest boss in all of Touhou. Fuck me, dude. That was beyond disgusting. This Touhou, my just skill issue, dude. It's a fine festival. They just combine their hatred of the two. Actually, they just use the fact that they are like Hidden Star is terrible, and then they use that to also fuck me to correlate the hatred for the two. Ooh, that's a... Oh. I'm like not even really paying attention at this point. Can't actually wall you. Yeah, so then what you're telling me is anyone complaining about the dancers is just a skill issue then. Don't forget to kiss your Kaneko. My favorite complaint, though, about Hidden Star isn't even the dancer one. It's the, I can't, I'm playing stage 3, I can't see anything, oh my goodness, guys, there's, like, bullets on my screen, I can't actually see, oh my gosh, the visuals in this game are so bad. Bullet Golem. I mean, Bullet Golem is cringe. Like, I'll agree with people there. Like, Bullet Golem is like an attack that is just, it's just cringe, bro. Like what the fuck are we doing out here? Like, why? Like, who up bulleting the Golem? Like, come on, bro. Ooh, I think I actually had that line. But that spell, dude, that was like the thing I complained like the most about with Hidden Star. Was Bullet Golem. Like, does it fit the category of super jank spell? Yes. Well, there's that. It fits the bill already. Spring. I mean, if I play Hidden Star, which to be fair is in the upper echelon, upper portion of the games, you know, that I'm more interested in. It absolutely would be Race Spring. Like, there's no way I'd pick anything else. Actually, no. I said I complained about Bullet Golem the most. There's actually one other thing about that game that, like, that I hated. Ooh, I wasn't even looking. Spring Final? It's skill diff. Come on, Alan. Come on. Bro, what are you talking about? Acronym, you better be sorry. And the thing that I complain about the most is I hate the fucking fact that, like, as you build up your release, you get additional, like, sub-season attacks out of the back of you, but if you use your release, you lose that. I fucking hate that. And so that's one of the biggest reasons why I'm like, I want to do an LNN that game so I don't have to fucking use release. This is on your first one, CC, fair. I just use them to get, you know, to get the run over with. The junior mechanic, I only partly agree. I don't necessarily actually fully agree with that, because Hidden Star is a game where if you want lives, you need score. And if you want score, you gotta learn to release. 10 lights of no bomb release. Well, first of all, you better not be releasing. It is No Nut November. Second of all, we're not all LNBers by default who are sitting there with like, oh yeah, 8 lives is easy. And you gotta fucking deal with, the dancers. When you gotta deal with Narumi. When you gotta deal with fucking Spring Final. Like, come on. Like, you have to understand that when you're going to 1cc, you're understanding the fact that you're probably dying 2 or 3 times minimum to Spring Final, okay? I had, like, a couple 1-miss Spring Finals. Like, that was the best I could ever muster. Think of Remy. Ugh. This game are USD. Yeah, but this game's free, though. It's too significant. Yeah, but you also have to consider, like, it's like -3 because of Spring Final. I mean, it's not like Hidden Star took me that long. By that point, I was like... After LOL K, I was generally ripping through my 1cc's pretty quickly, relatively speaking, but... Like, I think Hidden Star took me less than a week. Or maybe a week. Like, exactly. To get the 1cc at that point, but, like, still. Yeah, you didn't go for Spring LNN either. You literally did easy mode. It's unbelievable. You might as well have an ENNN at that point. Like, come on. Cool tech. Though it is a very cool tech. Fine. You don't have to do Spring Final. You can do Summer Final instead if that'll make you feel better. Yeah, and then, dude, Alan is so washed, bro. An SA? Who do you have it in an SA with? With Brent? I didn't even know you were gone. I assumed you were ignoring me on purpose. Big needle propaganda. It's unbelievable. What is wrong with me? Why do I do this to myself? On this fucking attack? It's hard. I mean, a lot of people like PDH. At least a lot of people in the LNB sphere I've seen like PDH, even if it's one of the hardest spells on Touhou. When it comes down to difficult, I feel like there's like a lot of those harder spells I see like a lot of people like do honestly like. How many people, Alan, have you ever seen that like Kagero? And they're like, yeah, I like the Kagero fight. For LNB purposes, /LNN purposes. You don't. Well, I mean, I don't. I really like Kagero during like the 1cc. I don't have an LNN opinion, like a really strong LNN opinion on her. Is kind of the problem. I feel like the thing I see people complain about, honestly, the most might be the mid spell. But I guess I don't pay attention to DDC people that much. Yeah, Alan's just so cool that Summer Final's like beneath him. It's like, it's so uninteresting to him. He's just too cool for it. Very subjective. You mean very objective, and where it's very clear what the right opinions are, and if you have the wrong ones, then, you know, you get the axe, right? I should really just play USD next just to piss Game Glitcher off. Dude, people argue if X attack beat Y attack in difficulty like every fucking day. People can't stop arguing between difficulty, like, differences and things. Especially if it's completely unrelated to each other. Do you guys believe that spam or tax block is harder? Well, actually, I think it's this answer because actually. Yeah, if Alan can't do a spell bottom hug only, one hand blindfolded, there's like no point in him trying it. No focus. Relate. I mean, kind of, but also at the same time, like, the attacks they all play very different from each other, too. Well, I'm not really that familiar with the Winter Final, to be fair, but, like, the other three, at the bare minimum. Why are you hugging the bottom? Filthy bottom hugger, Kaguya. Not Kaguya, this is Hina. Gag. You're gagging Chirno? Hold up! What is wrong with you, you freak? You're sick, man. Fall's so easy, though. Yeah, Fall is easier than the others, so it's actually free, though. Why? Why do I do that type of gap? Game sag. Yeah, so it's literally free. True. What Alan just said about Fall Final is true. I've kind of looked at it a bit myself. Yeah, so there is some routing you can do on Fall Final, but like it's kind of a pain in the ass to learn it. Winter is usually ranked very closely with Fall, if I'm not mistaken. No one cares Winter. I bet there are people who do. I don't have a strong opinion on Winter myself. I briefly played all of them, and I think it was the one I got the closest to first trying, just kind of due to the nature of it, but that's not... I think that's kind of just due to the nature of how that attack is laid out. Yeah, but Alan, it's easier than the Spring and Summer Finals, so it's actually free. Wah, blah, blah, I fucking hate you! When the game was new, yeah, what was that, 20 years ago? Get you back to the retirement home. Beat up Shion? I want to beat off Shion. Displays a hater? Yeah, he's kind of like you. And you and Cinnamon, if you had a child, and that child's like 12. Bro's never heard of Fudanari Khan before. Yukari pages? You hate them. You hate those pages more than I do. I hate those pages, and I know you hate that shit more than I do. She's nothing to lose. Well, I think if her sister died, that'd be losing something pretty big to her, so... Gods can't die. That's true until you introduce a weapon that has the power to kill gods, and then suddenly, boom, it can die. Okay, like I played card games with my friends when I was younger. Okay. It's all fun games until someone pulls out the Invincible. But then little do they realize when you pull out the Invincible Destroyer. And then little do you realize when they pull out the Invincible Destroyer, okay? Like, come on. Lunar rabbit breeding farm joke. I didn't know you made one of those jokes, okay? Like, sometimes when I'm going in here, I especially when there's a number of people here, I can't necessarily read every message. No, he'd make that for, like, fairies. Who's the one you don't hate? I'm not, like, that curious, but who is it? Is it Junko? Literally free, bro. Dude, this deck's literally easier than Minariko. Hold up a minute. I mean, like, the results just speak for themselves. Guess it, I said Junko. This isn't middle school where you're like, do you have a crush on someone? You're like, yes. You're like, oh my gosh, who is it? No, who is it? No, you have to guess first. You have to guess first. I'm fucking telling you, Alan. Holy shit. Parsley. Parsley until she's not around anymore because she jumps off the bridge. Oh, it's fucking over. This attack's the hardest attack in the game, dude. Holy shit. My 4-in-a-row streak is over. Oh, it's fucking over. Just Hydro Camo. I'd rather practice, yeah, never mind. Oh, it's fucking Jover. Dude, like, this is the thing I tell you about Peerless Wind God, Alan. It's you just need to, like, not play the attack. Because it's like, boom, I get 4 in a row, and then I just fucking suck ass at it. It's like, it's just, the rule of thumb is you just don't play the attack, and then you're perfect at it. Starts from the top. I don't really want to gamble on the 1 in 10,000, but, you know, let's do it. One of these years, I'll hit the 1 in 10,000, surely. Suck ass. No, I've never eaten ass before. Ah, unlucky. This time, for sure, we'll get the 110k. Oh, almost. Hold up, 110,000. Oh no, never lucky. Hold up. Let's one more. Oh, wait. 110,000? Oh, dude, almost, bro. Like 3 seconds into it. If I was actually moving, I would have dodged that next wave. Oh, close. Hitbox moment. Ugh. Do you think it's true that if you get every single LNN, Yukari transports you against Sokyo and then kicks you in the nuts? What am I doing? Oh, you call me the freak? You are wanting to get sucked off by Yukari. I should ask Miko. I'll ask her when I get there. Is that what happened to Miko when she, like, came back? Isn't this a moment where I have to say, like, actually isn't, like, the Divine Spirit Mausoleum technically not, like, a part of Gensokyo? Technically, some bibbidi boppity boo, keep the blue. Ooh, early fairy. Hey, Rico. Still duel with the dude. You have a watch? But what are you talking about? I've seen some pretty big busted Mikos before. Gonna use. When I first got introduced into Touhou, I thought she was a dude. One of my first ever time seeing her was in what's that game called? The Pokemon Mystery Dungeon type of game. Gensho Wanderer. Alan, here's a question. How much worse would this game be if you swapped Minariko Final with Kaneko Spell 1? Just swap where they were in the middle of a run. Jason. I think it would lessen. I think it would probably lessen overall frustration because early game doesn't quite. Late game frustration hits a little differently than early game frustration, but just simply moving those two attacks around, I just wonder how much of a hit that would be. You know, damn, the big needle propaganda at it again. My Mahjong. See, we need to pump those numbers. Yeah, that's why I'm saying like it would like that. That's why I mentioned it in the first case. I'm like, yo, fucking dog shit that would be. Like, as annoying as it is in the early game, just imagine, like, you know, just if you just move some of these attacks around. And that's one of the biggest reasons I talk about when I go to the difficulty of Peerless Wind God, where I'm like, it's stage 4. Dude, imagine you just swap Skarlik and Sokyo in books. Just that. That's the only thing you do. That's the one thing that PCB I think gets a big knock-up for compared to like some of the other, you know, quote-unquote easier games, is just the fact that spam is so late in the run. Like it's so late in that run. Surely, right? I don't know, dude. You fuck. Here's the other thing I comment with that. Okay, it's not only are you putting books at just put books at the end, but like you also put books at a moment where it's far more impactful than it is where it actually is, right? Because when you're running EOSD, you know, eventually you get to the point of monotony where, you know, you just, here comes books again, here comes books again. There's no pressure on books. Or there's little pressure on books, right? You put books at, put books as the last fucking thing in the run. You, Scarlet Meister into books. It's as long as books is. I'm not making books last 60 seconds. I'm just making it, you know, just as long as it. Boom. Here you go, Scarlet Meister into books. Have fucking fun with that. You know, dog shit that would fucking be. Like, that's what I say about Peerless Wind God in this game. One reason I don't say it's the hardest attack in the run, it might be the hardest attack in the game, but it's not the hardest attack in the run, is simply because it's just not late. Like, it's kind of the wall to the late game, but it's just not... I hate you, Hydro. It's just not late. There's such a big difference there. Like, dude, throw Peerless Wind God as the fucking final attack in this game? Fuck, I probably shit myself. Well, speaking of USD, when are you gonna do Marissa A last attack should be fun? Crap, dude, that'd be so much fun. Totally. When are you gonna do Marissa A USD? Nerves. I agree to an extent. Just point for Biohug only. Damn it! I should have known that you'd have already looked at her. Off of that idea, I didn't realize. Noise. But like stamina level, but yeah. And that's not it, because like Vow Divine Virtues has its randomness. It has its RNG. It has its like, oh, sometimes you have to be forced to make these bullshit micros. Like on the fly. Just boom. Oh yeah, just dodge this weird crisscross right here. Boom, just do that. Boom. That's partly why when I said about swapping attacks, I said swap Bumper Crop and Konako Spell 1, right? Fitting end. Yeah, that's... Obviously, Scarlet and Sokyo is a much more fitting end, you know? A lot more, like, thematic end than, Books is. Or would be. But, you know, I'm talking, like, other ones. If I mean Scarlet Devil, but every attack is Books. When? Fuck me, I should have played aggressively earlier. Don't snail me. Oh, whoa, 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 Momiji. Whoa there, Shoddy. What are you doing with that bullet? Venbo's nice. I like how you typed out Ramelia in full and Mei Ling in full, and then you just did sack for Sakuya. Snail? That wasn't even the snail, that was just the crisscross, just the blech. And of course, well, oh yeah, obviously. I said this in Subterranean, I'll say this here. If you played the game in reverse, the run would be easier. It would take less time. Actually, maybe not in this game. We all know this early game is way harder than, like, Pure Swing God. Whee! Need to, like, install 2 more frames. Damn, that was a good cancel. Yeah, but like kind of one of the ideas is like even then you're past stage 4. It's like that would be terrifying. Oh, absolutely. Hydro as well. Got the Pure Swing gun. Yeah, but I've seen some people say that Hydra's pretty easy, so. Damn, 408? 409? Holy face. You're so faith-filled. Restream I do. Oh, the restream I do is completely unoptimal. Like, suboptimal. It's just, it's completely meaningless. It's only to make it a little bit better to pick up faith. Like, that's literally it. It's a terrible idea. I should never actually do it. Because it gets me killed more times than if I didn't do it. Not that I die to it a ton, but, like, still, absolutely, I shouldn't do it. But we got Faith Max, clearly. Damn, that's a terrible point pickup. Sometimes, I mean, I always, like, I do this on stage 1. There are suboptimal routes I do on stage 1. I did this in PCB. I did this in Subterranean. Where in, like, stages 1 and 2, I'll do suboptimal strats solely because I get so fucking bored of stages 1 and 2. That I just start scoring on them because, you know. I mean, like, what Why? I'm connecting right now. You couldn't wait till after I beat Hina for you to say that? Like, the whole reason I do this, not that this opening sequence is particularly suboptimal. Actually, technically is. I've died doing it where I would die less if I didn't do it. Just for the sake of maxing out on... Okay, my approach to this mid-boss is terrible. You should not do the things I do on this mid-boss. I play way too fucking aggressive on this mid-boss, and it kills me way more than I should die to this attack. Not that time, but we all do that just so we can literally kill that fucking dude. I need a patch of this game which just removes the face counter from the screen. Just get it off the screen. Get it so I don't have to think about that face counter. Dude, I'd have the LNN by now. It's actually unbelievable. Dude, if you got rid of the faith counter and my caps lock didn't exist, I would be fucking... I would have probably, like, so many elements by now. It's maxing. Actually, it's maxing with 2 X's. Not 1 X, it's 2. You should do it with 3 X's next time so we can pretend it's XXX. I walked out the screen. Fix caps lock. I mean... What do you mean by fix? I have caps lock disabled, so there's no glowy light on it to indicate when caps lock is on, which does help a little bit. It helps in the fact that I'm not looking at the caps lock button anymore. It doesn't help in the fact that I'm probably clicking caps lock more than I was previously. But it's not distracting to my eyes anymore, which is a big thing. And that is more important. But dude, like, I'm in the middle of fucking Peerless Wind Gun, I'm still clicking on it like fucking 8 times at least. Like, I gotta have a hand cam, but no, the hand cam's not for my fucking, like, movements. It's for the fucking caps lock button. Like, the amount of times I've died on the transition where Hina, from, like, the stage portion to where Hina starts spawning her dudes on stage 2, because I'm too busy fucking looking at the caps lock button, and then I look up and I fucking whiff and die, is actually insane. Like, I still look at it even if there's no light, I just look at it, like, way less without the thing. And the amount of times I put my finger on the fucking bomb key is also ridiculous. Because I use my pointer finger on Z, and my thumb is just kind of left to the side. But the amount of times I just, like, put my pointer finger on fucking the Z, on the X key is just... Keyboard during LNN. Why am I looking at chat? Because it's fucking... Because I need something to distract myself from the pain of having to look at bumper crop every 5 seconds. So I've done that a couple times. That's not that frequent, but it does happen once in a blue moon. It's also a lot easier to remove the keys off of this keyboard than the last one, because they're not, like, divoted in. So, like, so many times between stages, I'm just, like, fucking taking off the right arrow key and just putting the right arrow key back in. So you're probably, no, they're not falling off. The thing is about my last keyboard is effectively, like, the keys were built into, like, a divot in the keyboard, okay? Where it's like, you need a tool to get under them in order to, like, pull the keys out, is really kind of the thing. This keyboard, they're kind of, like, protruding up from the keyboard. So it's a lot, so, like, so they kind of stick out. Now, like, all the letter keys, you kind of need a tool in order to rip them out, really. Because they're surrounded by the other keys, you really can't get them up by hand. But the directional keys, you know, like, the bottom key is hard to rip out by hand without, like, without any extra effort. But, like, the top, the left, and the right key, you can get your fingers around the key with no difficulty and, like, pull the key out. So, like, right now, I literally just took the right key out and I'm playing with it in my hand before I put it back in. Yeah, so I'm taking it out on purpose. I just rip it off and then put it back on. I mean, rip is putting it, you know. They are designed to be able to be taken off like this. Where am I on the screen? Here I am. Welcome back to my favorite attack, Scar. Keyboard. Yeah, removing the keys off my last keyboard fucking was such a pain in the ass. Even though it's easier this time, it's not like I'm ever gonna fucking clean my keyboard besides, like, maybe once a year. Oh, you fucking piece of shit, Hina! Go fuck yourself! For like a decade. I mean, my last keyboard I actually cleaned like 2 or 3 months ago, which is funny because I finally got rid of it. I hadn't cleaned that shit in like 3 years. Like, the most I would do is, like, flip my keyboard upside down and, like, shake it and, like, bash it into my desk a little bit to, like, get crumbs and shit to fall out. That's, like, it. Maybe I'll blow a bit of air on there once in a while. That was disgusting, Hina, by the way. Let's not blow over that, Hina. You just think you can do that and walk away on my account? Nuh-uh. Get the whip. Here's a secondary question. How often do people clean their monitors? You ever take a cloth and, you know, clean it off? No, minus 10,000 faith. Act a human. That was a terrible thing I just did. I should be arrested for that. That was so fucking free, dude. That was legitimately one of the easiest fucking hydros I've ever seen. I just fucking completely shat the bed. Oh, good grief, game. Why the slowdown? Let's just move on before I lose my mind. It was a good day. We got 2 runs past stage 3. That's incredible. I'll be back on Thursday.